Welcome to the July 2023 Star Wars Canon Update. Last month we got a new novel and 9 comic issues, so let's dive in. Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade by Delilah Dawson was the new novel of the month. I really enjoyed the fresh perspective it gave to the Clone Wars as we got to see it through the eyes of a Padawan and then Jedi Knight who we know is doomed to become an Inquisitor. The Order 66 scene and beyond were my favorite parts of the book and provided us with some answers to questions I've had about the Inquisitorius for a long time. I'll link to my full review of the book in the cards, and I did a couple interviews with Delilah Dawson if you want to check any of those out, and the audiobook is available on Audible right now, which you can get for free by following the link in the description or by visiting audibletrial.com/Star Wars Explained. Star Wars issue 36 veered away from Luke's story, which I was really into, but I do enjoy a good pilot-centric tale. While Vader and the Emperor and every other Force user in the galaxy are dealing with the Force wave that exploded at the end of the Hidden Empire, Lando leads an attack on Coruscant itself. They blast the statue of the Empire just to continue to irk Palpatine and knock him off balance. Lando and Chewie barely escape thanks to the help of Nine Nub, who co-pilots the Falcon for his first time. Darth Vader 36 showed a very roundabout plan for one of Darth Vader's droids to deliver a bunch of other droids he had dismantled in the past to him so he could destroy them again and reassemble them into some kind of army? For what? I'm not sure. This feels very similar to the first time he worked with Dr. Aphra, making a droid army to take on the Emperor, except this time Aphra escaped a little quicker. This one just seemed like it was set up for the coming Dark Droids arc that begins next month. Bounty Hunters issue 36 is the kind of issue I have wanted for this series since it began. I have been loving seeing nearly every classic Empire Strikes Back bounty hunter join forces with Valance from the old 70s Marvel comics, Dirge from the Clone Wars micro-series, and several faces from the new canon. And they're all fighting against Black Sun from Shadows of the Empire. This was an action-packed issue that was just like how I used to play with my bounty hunter action figures. Sometimes that phrase will get thrown around like it's an insult, but there is a time and a place for that kind of storytelling, and I say this is it. It was a blast to read, and it moved the main story along. The main crew helps Boba Fett take down his target, a rival to Prince Xizor, and in turn he gives them the name of someone who can help repair Valance's memories. Dr. Aphra issue 34 sadly brought us to the end of her adventures with Luke. I really liked them as a pair, but they had to work together to fight a creature called a Star Weird that was imprisoned by Aayla Secura and Shaak Ti during the Clone Wars. They succeed, and then Luke steals a Force artifact from Aphra, which actually impresses her. It reminded me of Ezra and Hondo's relationship a bit. Again, I just liked seeing them teamed up, and I hope it happens again. The 9th issue of the Yoda comic was a fun time. I really enjoyed the team-up of Yoda and Anakin. They're fun together, just like they were in the final arc of the Clone Wars Season 6. They work together to destroy the prototype of a mega battle droid in the past, but in the present, Yoda confides his fears to Obi-Wan's Force Ghost and prepares to enter the dark side cave for himself, and I am excited to see how that goes. The Rebellion issue of the Return of the Jedi collection was cool. I liked that Alex Segura got to shine the spotlight on Shara Bey and Kez Dameron, as well as bring in the Spice Runners of Kijimi. It had some strong ties to his Poe Dameron book Freefall. It was a bit of a spy thriller story in the days before the Battle of Endor, showing us how Mon Mothma learned that the Death Star was more than just a superweapon, but an opportunity to take down Imperial leadership. She hasn't learned about the Emperor being there yet, but caught wind that some of his dignitaries would be there. The 4th and final issue of Darth Vader Black, White, and Red was about the same as the other 3 issues. Some neat art, but I didn't really connect with the stories. My favorite of the bunch was about a disease that infests Vader and his mind, which he then has to defeat. The art was really cool and it was unique, but just about every story in the series just seemed to be about how cool and badass Vader is. The 6th issue of Hyperspace Stories was alright. It followed Greedo as he worked his way into Jabba's good graces, good-ish graces anyway. It was a lighthearted noir-style story with a femme fatale that was enjoyable. The Mandalorian Season 2 Issue 2 has my same comments as every other issue of the Mandalorian adaptation. It's the show and fast forward, nothing new to report. For Story of the Month, I'm going with Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade. I loved everything involving the Inquisitorius, especially after the events of Order 66, but it was a book that surprised me throughout. In August, we'll be seeing the first 3 episodes of Ahsoka release, as well as more Young Jedi adventures, and we're getting 10 new comic issues, including the start of the Dark Droids crossover event, and a Return of the Jedi issue all about Max Rebo, so that'll be fun. But that's it for July. The Canon Update will return in early September to cover all those new stories. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.